vast United States, once seen as speaking of free speech, now seems unable to accommodate even a quiet desk. When fully armed police forces storm campuses, wielding batons, brutally assaulting students, the world is shocked. Such scenes are far cry from the America of yesteryear that preached freedom and democracy, resembling more of a nightmare. The incident originated from students from over 20 universities protesting for several consecutive days against American politicians' support for Israel's indiscriminate killings. They demanded that the school cease cooperation with Israeli-related institutions. The students set up tent camps in designated areas on campus, hung protest banners and Palestinian flags, and organized peaceful speeches. However, their peaceful protests were met with brutal treatment. Gunshots rang out continuously. Professors were arbitrarily arrested. And the police even used rubber bullets and tear gas. A photographer from the Austin Fox TV covering the scene was heartlessly arrested. A reporter from the New York Times also injured in the conflict, blood streaming down their face. Even more appalling, at least 2 reporters interviewing at New York universities were subjected to pepper spray attacks by the police. The FBI's presence loomed over this chaotic campus, attempting to coordinate the turmoil. However, the cost of this turmoil was heavy. Over 300 people, including media journalists, were unjustly arrested. Faced with students' voices of justice, American lawmakers denounced them as left-wing fascism criminal acts. House Speaker Johnson even went so far as to call the students thugs and proposed the intervention of the National Guard. Several Republican lawmakers openly demanded the Biden administration to deploy the National Guard to Columbia University, while urging the Departments of Education and Justice to intervene and hold support while staying on campus. Teachers at the University of Texas at Austin described city and state police riding horses and motorcycles, dressed in red gear, wielding batons, pepper spray, tear gas, and firearms, turning the campus into a militarized zone. This scene stands in stark contrast to the American attitude during the Black violence period in Hong Kong. Reflecting on the Black violence period in Hong Kong in 2019, the violence perpetrated by Black Lives Matter has substantial impact on others. However, Western politicians openly supported those violent protesters, with American politicians even praising it as a so-called beautiful sight and falsely claiming that there was a risk of Hong Kong becoming a police state. However, by 2024, the wave of campus protests in the United States had nothing to do with extremism, let alone any violence. This stands in stark contrast to the situation in Hong Kong during this turmoil, where campuses were filled with petrol bombs and piles of offensive weapons. On April 23rd in New York City, students prepared to camp and protest on the campus of Columbia University to express their support for Palestine. However, their peaceful protest faced strong opposition and suppression from American politicians. These politicians even slandered it as an anti-Semitic riot and threatened that if police and the National Guard were not dispatched, Biden would be responsible for taking over. In this turmoil, the attitudes of politicians from various countries have formed a sharp contrast. In 2019, politicians from various countries expressed concern and condemnation for the Black violence in Hong Kong. However, by 2024, facing the campus protests in the United States, politicians from other countries remained silent, with only American politicians making noise. Even more shocking is the fact that Israel's Mossad openly threatened those American students, stating that their faces had been recorded and they would lose their degrees and jobs. This behavior undoubtedly constitutes extreme suppression of freedom of speech and peaceful protest. Despite the repeated attempts by American media to downplay anti-war voices on campuses, The truth cannot be hidden forever. More and more universities are rising up in response, with over 20 universities erupting demonstrations in support of Palestine, and the voices of resistance are blossoming across the United States. The iron-fisted actions of the United States against protesting students have drawn worldwide attention. Once again, the United States has exposed its double standards in terms of freedom of speech. In this turmoil, we see the power of peaceful protest, but we also witness the ugly face of power and dominance.